The ball you are watching right now has a computer chip inside it. It sends data 500 times every second, and that ball needs to be charged before kickoff, like a phone, because this is the first World Cup ball in history that runs out of battery. By the end of this video, you will understand 7 AI technologies running the 2026 FIFA World Cup, an offside system accurate down to a single centimeter, cameras strapped to referees' heads for the first time in history, and an analytics tool handed for free to every team in the tournament. This is not about what AI might do to sports. This is about what it is already doing right now in front of an audience FIFA projects at 6 billion cumulative viewers. In today's breakdown, 7 technologies, all confirmed, all live. Let's get into it. The ball. Let's start at the most basic element of football, the ball itself. The official match ball of the 2026 World Cup is called the Adidas Trionda. It looks like every other football, but inside it, suspended in the center of the ball, sits a sensor built by a Munich company called Connexon. That sensor records movement 500 times per second and sends data wirelessly to the officiating system in real time. Think of it like a black box on an airplane. Every single touch, every kick, every deflection, the exact millisecond it happens is logged automatically. That timestamp is what the entire AI officiating system is built on. You cannot call an offside accurately if you do not know the precise moment the ball left the attacker's foot. Before this technology, referees were estimating. Now, they are not. And that need to charge it before every match. That is not a gimmick. It is the price of carrying a live sensor inside a football for 90 minutes. The Offside System. In the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, FIFA introduced something called semi-automated offside technology. It worked, but it was slow, and it had a margin problem. Here's how it worked then. Cameras tracked players, AI calculated positions, and if a player was more than 50 centimeters offside, the system flagged it. The alert went to the VAR room. The VAR team reviewed it. Then they told the referee. The whole chain took minutes. Fans sat in confusion, waiting. For 2026, FIFA rebuilt the system from the ground up. The threshold dropped from 50 centimeters to 10 centimeters. That is the width of your hand. And for the first time, the alert now goes directly into the referee's earpiece, bypassing the VAR room entirely for clear positional calls. Johannes Holtzmüller, FIFA's Director of Innovation, confirmed this explicitly. The assistant referee can now flag instantly, without waiting for a video review chain. To be clear about what AI is doing here and what it is not doing, the system measures position. It does not judge interference, intent, or whether an arm counts. Those remain human decisions. AI has been trusted with measurement, not with judgment. The avatars. Here's where it gets really interesting. For the offside system to work at 10 centimeter precision, you cannot use generic stick figures to represent players. You need to know exactly where each body part of each specific player is, even when they are partially blocked by another player, even mid-sprint, even when the camera angle is imperfect. So FIFA body scanned all 1,248 players at this tournament. Every single one. Each scan takes approximately 1 second and captures precise body dimensions. The result is an individualized 3D avatar that the AI uses to track that player through fast, obstructed, chaotic movement. FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed this directly. At the launch, he said AI-enabled 3D avatars would ensure precise player identification and tracking. But the practical implication is this. For the first time, when an offside replay appears on your screen, the digital figure you are watching actually looks like the player. That is not cosmetic. That is the system working. The referee camera. For the first time in World Cup history, referees are wearing cameras on their heads. The device weighs about 14 grams. It sits on the referee's headset. It broadcasts first-person HD footage live to broadcasters and stadium screens. And it is AI stabilized in real time, which matters. because a referee moving at full sprint through a crowded penalty area produces footage that would otherwise be unwatchable. According to FIFA and Lenovo, the AI stabilization reduces motion blur and visual distortion by up to 50%. The footage travels over a private 5G network, and it appears in all 104 matches, not as a trial, not in select games, but every single match. This did not happen by accident. The International Football Association Board, the body that writes the laws of the game, formally amended Law 5 at its annual general meeting in Wales in February 2026, specifically to allow referee cameras. They rewrote the rules of football so a camera could be attached to the person enforcing them. Pierluigi Collina, chairman of FIFA's Referees Committee, said after the Club World Cup trial that the results went beyond their expectations. In the Bundesliga, where the system was also trialed, individual ref cam clips drew around 2 million views per weekend. Football AI Pro. Now let's talk about what is happening off the pitch. Before this tournament, access to deep tactical analytics was essentially a function of budget. The biggest national teams, Germany, France, Brazil, had full analytics departments, proprietary software, specialist staff. A team like Cabo Verde, appearing in their first World Cup, had none of that. FIFA and Lenovo changed that with a tool called Football AI Pro. It is a generative AI analytics platform built on something they are calling a football language model, trained on hundreds of millions of data points and more than 2,000 football-specific metrics. Every one of the 48 teams at this tournament has access to it, free, for the duration of the competition. A coach can ask it questions in natural language. It processes sprint speeds, defensive line positioning, passing lane closures, set piece patterns, opponent tendencies. It generates visualizations, 3D tactical breakdowns, and pre-match reports. Gianni Infantino described the goal plainly at the Lenovo Tech World event: democratize access to data so that every team, regardless of resources, walks into a match with the same quality of information. That is a significant shift. Analytics has been a structural advantage for wealthy federations for a decade. This tournament is the first time that advantage has been deliberately flattened. Worth remembering, though, that the tool was built and controlled by FIFA's own commercial partner. Free access is real progress, but it is not the same as a neutral, independent system. Google Gemini on the pitch. Here's something that did not exist at any previous World Cup. A major AI company is not just sponsoring the broadcast. It is partnering directly with national teams as a tactical tool. Google Gemini became the official technology partner of Argentina's national teams, announced in March 2026. Gemini branding appears on Argentina's training apparel. The partnership covers tactical preparation. Coaches use AI tools to evaluate formations, analyze match statistics, and study opponent tendencies. Argentina are the defending champions. They are walking into this tournament with one of the world's most powerful AI systems embedded in their preparation. France followed. US Soccer followed, in a multi-year deal announced in May 2026, running through the 2027 Women's World Cup and the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics. Google Gemini also became official technology sponsor of Iraq and Morocco. And for the audience watching at home, Gemini shows up differently. Live scores pinned to phone lock screens, AI-generated morning match briefings, a visual matchday hub inside the Gemini app. Google made its AI Mode Pro features free for the duration of the summer, timed precisely to the tournament's start. The 2026 World Cup is quietly one of the largest real-world deployments of consumer AI to date. It is also worth being clear about what this is: a sponsorship. Argentina did not necessarily choose Gemini because it tested better than every competitor. They chose it because Google paid for the partnership, the same way teams have always worn sponsored boots and shirts. Quick pause. If this breakdown is giving you something to think about, a subscribe genuinely helps this channel keep doing this kind of work. Now, before we wrap up, there's one more AI technology at this tournament, and it might be the most overlooked one of all. Let's get into the last one: the broadcast infrastructure. The one technology at this tournament that almost nobody is talking about, but that shapes how every single viewer experiences every single match. Broadcasting a World Cup across 3 countries, 16 stadiums, and 104 matches is a logistical problem of enormous scale. In previous tournaments, IPTV streaming, the technology that delivers video to the thousands of screens inside FIFA venues, had a latency problem. There was roughly a 40-second delay between what happened on the pitch and what appeared on screens inside the stadium. 40 seconds. Lenovo, as FIFA's official technology partner, rebuilt that infrastructure using AI-powered edge computing. The result, latency dropped from around 40 seconds to under 5 seconds. That is an 8-fold reduction. It runs on Lenovo Think System servers at FIFA's International Broadcast Center in Dallas, distributing match content across more than 1,000 screens at venues across all 3 host countries. Lenovo also deployed more than 17,000 devices and 200 engineers across venues and team-based camps. And at all 16 stadiums, they built digital twin replicas, live virtual models of each venue, fed by real-time sensor and camera data, allowing operators to spot crowd bottlenecks and technical failures before they escalate. Think of it like air traffic control. You do not wait for a plane to crash before you redirect it. You watch the model, read the pattern, and act early. That is what is running underneath every match at this tournament. Here's what all of this adds up to. The 2026 World Cup is the first sporting event in history where AI is not a feature. It is the foundation. The ball generates data, the cameras generate data, the stadiums generate data, the players generate data. And underneath all of it, systems built by FIFA, Lenovo, Adidas, and Google are processing that data in real time, invisibly, so that a global audience gets a cleaner, faster, more precise version of the sport they already love. Most of those viewers will never know any of this is happening. And that, honestly, is the point. The best technology disappears into the experience. Not everyone sees that as a good thing. Some critics argue that the more decisions get handed to automated systems, the more something human quietly disappears from sport. The judgment calls, the controversy, the arguments that have always been part of the game. That debate is not unique to football. It is the same question being asked in healthcare, in hiring, in classrooms, anywhere AI starts making calls that used to belong to people. But the trend line does not support that debate slowing down. AI is being adopted into sport faster every year, and whether that counts as progress or as something being lost depends entirely on who you ask. That's the breakdown. See you in the next one.